Don't forget, we're here. Okay. So my next question for you, David, is what's the best, because you are like a travel guy.
Mm,
I mean, endless travel. You should be a travel guy. So
right.
what's the best advice, like travel advice you've ever received from anyone in your life?
Um, it sounds cheesy, but just have $100 on you, cash, US,
That
like
that
small
sounds
bills.
that sounds legit.
I every time I travel, I run into problems where you'll get cheated at like a passport or not passport, but like your SIM card, you'll get robbed on. But in my bag, not to mean to steal my bag, but in my bag, I have a little bit of like up to $100 from every country I've ever been to. So if I go to a country, I just have some money to pull out. But always have,
That's some Jason Bourne type shit. I like it.
yeah, like, I have like 30 different currencies in my bag, and it's like total value is probably like $400 or $500. It's not a lot, but every time I land somewhere, I have money to get a taxi. Because if you pay with USD, any country, it doesn't matter if it's even loud,
They'll take it.
they'll up everything.
That's a good answer. So, um, what's the most like unexpected aspect? I know we're going way back here, but what's the most unexpected aspect of the Vietnamese culture that you did not expect? Because I'm sure you knew a certain amount before you like moved here,
Uh-huh.
but what surprised you the most about the culture?
Uh, this is actually something that doesn't even happen in Vietnamese culture in America, is the mannerisms. Your
Like,
feet on the table, eating like a horse. All right. They're very minute. I think it's more of a Western nitpick thing, but that stuff still drives me like up the wall. Like when I see some like that kind of, I'm just like, "Ah, get away from me, bro."
yeah,
But I think that's it. But it's just
that's fair. But I could see my wife watching this. I spit like a fucking mule, or I should say camel. But um, that so I get what you're saying,
I think it's really the
but
feet on
I feel like
stuff.
I'm
The feet on stuff really drives me up the wall.
like
Just on every like you see like a truck parked on the side of the road, his feet are like on the steering wheel. It's like, what are you doing?
is that necessary?
Why? And then there's somebody behind him picking at his hair while they're picking their nose. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
getting a little extreme with it, but yeah, like that's the only thing. And I remember asking my friends back home because I noticed this the first year here because I just thought when I grew up picking my nose, my mother would slap me. She's like, what are you hungry? Go get some food. And when I talk back home, they're like, oh no, that's definitely a Vietnam thing. Like we learned to stop that here. But that's the only thing. It's a small thing.
yeah. No,
Whatever.
that's a
I don't make a big deal out of it,
that's a
but
no. That's actually a fair answer. I can't get my wife out of my head when I spit, which I agree is not polite, it's not rude, but like I don't know, I could blame it on allergies, whatever. But like I'll honk a loogie, which is rude, but like, I don't do it in any sort of, in my opinion, like rude sort of way.
uh,
But like just if I do it anywhere around her, she just like
it,
if you want to get a fucking fight started with her, that's the great way to do it. Especially around here. Like I can understand around here a little bit, but like if I'm just like, around the bushes,
uh,
but I think I've gotten better and I respect.
I do find it interesting in Vietnam culture because there's a difference. In Vietnam culture, if you act like the culture, people get upset. If you know what I mean. Like if I start throwing trash everywhere and like just peeing on random stuff and spitting on everybody and picking my nose and yelling like F you in Vietnamese, like everyone's like, why don't you act like you do in America? I'm like, would you act this way in America? Like I think that's just something you kind of get used to in Vietnam, which is fine. And I think the more country you get, though, like I lived in a small town called Lazi, and the stuff you see is insane. It's funny, but yeah, I think that's what got to me is the mannerisms.
Yeah, no,
They're very minute, but when you have like a lot of people around you, just like it's kind of like disgusting, I
that's
guess.
interesting. This is kind of like a different topic, but it's similar. I like how you said minute because I feel like the communication, which is, what I teach basically on my channel, which is Pro Teach R, please subscribe. But is when I first came here, I was just, I didn't understand the kind of nonverbal subtleties, like,
Uh,
or you said minute,
yeah,
which is really important. And I guess the typical, if you're like book learning or whatever, it would be the high context culture
Uh-huh.
versus the low. So here apparently is a high context, which I don't even think that makes sense, but basically what it means is for anyone who hasn't heard of this or was considering moving here, it means every little thing that you do like non-verbally is significant.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So, and they'll pick up on that. And honestly, like when I first moved here, I'm American. I'm loud. I'm like, I'm loud. I'm annoying. I'm obnoxious.
Uh-huh.
But then after like the first, like I would say even like 6 months to a year, I started to appreciate them not only accepting me, but me accepting the fact that this is how they communicate.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to be like direct, like you and I would be like, hey, knock it off.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, they're gonna be giving you a look that says it all.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's definitely this is like a bashy moment now. There's definitely a lack of like self-awareness, I would say. Like you go to a store, you go to a hospital. Like let's go extreme. You go to a hospital, you need to get your wife some medicine. You're gonna get thrown around, pushed. People are gonna be cutting in front of you. Like
absolutely.
there's definitely no like we had a joke. This is back in like 2016, but it was we had to go to the hospital to do the work permit, you had to do the medical thing, and they had FV Hospital, which is that French one. But there's a few others you could go to. The school preferred them because they had to pay for the work permit, so they wanted to pay the less fee for it. And we joked, we were like, you go in there with the flu, you come out with chlamydia, because it was just so dirty in these hospitals. But you just had people like
It's not
behind you
that
pushing
bad,
you.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it is
You
definitely
can't. But sorry, I gotta cut.
it's a
You,
shock.
okay, but David, you can't associate the impolite social etiquette with the dirtiness of the hospital because I think overall it's
I think
not
it's a
like that.
mix to an extent.
Okay, I don't know what hospitals you're going to, but I gotta tell you, man, like I gotta push back on this because
Uh-huh.
me and my wife did in vitro fertilization
Okay.
like successfully for like a sixth of the price that it
Uh-huh.
would be in America.
Yeah,
Like,
way
th-
cheaper.
th- if I didn't decide to marry my wife, or if I didn't decide to stay here,
Uh-huh.
I would not have Coco,
Okay.
and who knows, I'd be laying face down in a ditch in freaking Baltimore. I don't know, or sorry, in Portland somewhere.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that I think you're exaggerating the negatives while missing the positives of the cheap, effective healthcare that you can get here. And I know I'm biased, but like
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about specifically about in vitro fertilization, like specifically because
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like literally like I'm poor. I don't make much money,
Uh-huh.
but I was able to scrounge up the money with my family to get the treatments.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
our last fertilized egg, we got Coco. I mean, that's obviously just
Yeah, I'm
the
not
higher
questioning
power.
the cheapness. Like Vietnam and Thailand are your spots to go for all this stuff. Definitely. My mother, during her cancer stages, I was getting medicine from Thailand and sending it back to her. Like definitely. I was just talking about the mannerisms. Like you go to a hospital, you're gonna get pushed around and yada yada yada. Obviously, you're not gonna walk out clean. I'm not saying
No,
it
no,
was it was a joke.
no, I got you. I
Like,
got you.
but
Yeah,
it's usually you went in there, some guys smoking right at the entrance and people are coughing. So, but the cost, yeah, definitely. Like in Saigon, I've always went to FV Hospital. It's like what is it called? French something. It's a French hospital. You know what I'm talking about?
no idea, but
It's in District
I don't
7, I
I don't doubt you.
believe. It's a really good hospital. That's where I've got a lot of my work done.
Nice.
But that's where the girls get the lips done.
Oh, oh,
It's very popular for that,
should
actually.
we should we transition? I think we should. So that's a good segue, actually. So let's talk about the westernization of the what I used to call I guess the reason I moved here, which was like traditional women, family values.
Uh,
So do you feel like we're losing that here in Vietnam? And to your point, the lips, the the Botox, the fake shit, basically.
yeah.
Like is that becoming a problem, or is it like how do you see it? Like, and is it going to just get worse, or is it gonna like hit a bubble? What's your opinion on this, David?
It's getting bad. It's going, I think it's getting worse by the day. I don't know if it's going to stop, but it's getting worse by the day because women are trying to outdo each other in this respect. And Thailand's a good way to look at what's happening. China is
It's
too.
like a retrospect, like so sorry to cut you, off, but like
No.
Thailand, do you think is like a little bit ahead culturally?
So I was out there a year and a half ago. I worked at this Christian school. It's like a private school out in Sriracha, very nice area. And literally, I felt like we were training bar girls. All the whole time they had short skirts, the uniform, whatnot. What you would see in like an anime is what they actually wore.
Where were you working?
It was like a Christian school. It's called Sir, Patea.
They were wearing this at a school?
Yeah, it was a Christian school, so it was a uniform thing. It was like to the knees. It wasn't like
Okay.
that,
Okay.
but you would walk by these classrooms, all female, mind you. You walk by these classrooms, they would be twerking and stuff on TikTok videos, like 15, like if you,
Like in class.
yes, it is like during the break time, and it's just
That's
like
that's not a good look.
it's like old people looking at this stuff, like, and I see in Hanoi at least I see this where a lot of girls are starting to do this and like Highland coffees and stuff. They'll be in the corner just twerking and stuff.
And it's just all just camera, camera, camera.
Yeah,
Right,
dude,
yeah.
it's all camera. I have not seen. I've been in Saigon for a day and a half. I haven't seen one person off their phone here. It's insane. It's like they're driving and they're just like, it's insane to me. So is it
Yeah. I think it's a
the addiction's definitely bad. Like,
I mean obviously it's worse. I think it's worse in the US. But like
yeah, maybe, yeah.
I guess my original question is like how much has it filtered to here? Is it like it's here, it's like they're done for, or
I
is
think
there
it's
some saving grace in terms of like can we because like I'm just thinking in terms of like people listening to this like thinking about moving here like they're trying to escape that, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So like can they still escape that and find a good quality woman that's young, that is hot, but not fucking slutty as shit doing these twerking and
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I know you can, but I'm just saying like like
Yeah, I've always suggested when it comes to dating in Vietnam, Vietnam is a very different way of dating. Take it slow.
yeah.
One thing about marrying in Vietnam, this is the same in China too. Like they're mirrored countries. When you marry the girl, you're marrying the family. They're all gonna. You probably
Yeah.
have your mother-in-law with you or something like that. This
Oh,
happens.
oh yeah. Which
T-
is not a bad thing.
Point case, but it's not a bad thing. But it is part of the deal,
But wouldn't you say
typically.
that's the same with the US
So
though?
no, man,
Not
we're
not
trying to
not,
get
not
away from our families, bro.
good point. But yeah, yeah. So not to the extent, not nearly to
Yeah,
the
like
extent.
mom lives
Yeah.
down the road. She's not in my house 24/7.
Yeah, it's very independent or yeah,
But you you
sorry to
could
cut you off.
you
Yeah.
could definitely find somebody out. Yeah, just take it slow. Like
Yeah.
don't go to Bowie Van to find your wife. I mean, you could probably find a bar girl and make her good, sure. But like I don't think there's a better spot. It's just you just have to be calm. Like the best relationship I ever had is when I first moved to Vietnam. We dated for like 2.5 years, 3 years almost. And I met her at a university library. I was just out there doing IT teaching, and we met there, and we didn't get serious for like 4 months, kind of a thing. Because my mindset was like, all these girls are just like they just sleep around. She probably has a body count of 600.
So you assume that about her.
Yeah,
Was it true?
no, not at all.
Oh,
But
that's good though.
again,
So it's like in retrospect, it was actually a good thing that you assume that because
maybe, yeah.
you
But I
did
took my time in it all. I didn't try to get married like in an hour and a half, and
yeah, no, I think that's very
nothing's,
valuable advice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So take your time, I think.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, even in America, take your time. You don't know what you're really getting into until you like. I know in Vietnam it's hard to move in with a girl you're not married to because of the culture difference.
Yeah.
But like in America, you do that so you understand who she is in every aspect. Because when you live with somebody, you see a whole different person, for better or worse.
Case in point, case in point, I think that's another good topic we can touch on real quickly. Um, which is, do you think that you should live with the person first before getting married?
If you can, again, the culture is kind of difficult sometimes. It's not, it depends
But
on,
just in general, let's just say in general.
I think so, yeah, 100%. Like, you're not gonna, this is gonna sound horrible. You don't buy a used car without test driving it.
Well, that
And I'm not,
I was gonna say that, but I would refer that to sex though. That's sex. So
yeah, I mean,
so same question about sex. I would have the same answer, right?
yeah,
You
to
gotta
an
test drive
extent.
it.
I
Yeah.
I think personality is a long thing. Like, this is somebody you're talking about marrying. You're gonna be stuck with them, and they're gonna be stuck
Yeah.
with you for a long time.
So I would
You
completely
want to
agree with
know
you.
who they are, and when it comes to Vietnam, I've said this so many times. You want to know who the family is because they are going to be a massive part of your
Oh,
life.
whether you want to or not.
Like I know
Yeah.
I've met a lot of Australians that got married and moved out mostly, and the mother-in-laws they either come with the package or 5 years down the road they hurt their leg and they can't work and they move in with you, or they're just gonna clean your TV once a week for you, and somehow they become part of the life. It's better to know her and be along with the family,
Yeah.
the mother, the father, the grandkids, the nieces, know them. You know,
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah.
America. You
Yeah.
don't really have to care about the the
That's true.
mother-in-laws.
That's a
You
good
can
point.
kind of ignore it. We joke about it in America, like, oh, there's the mother-in-law. Charlie Sheen made joke a TV show based on mother-in-laws, damn near, right? In Vietnam,
That's a good
you
point.
really have to know them, and for better or worse, but you really should. You shouldn't marry a girl just because it's a girl. I mean, it's very rare to find a Vietnamese girl that's not connected to her family like that. So why
I would
wouldn't you
say
just
like
let them?
nearly impossible. Yeah,
Yeah, like it's a,
yeah.
I can't think of an
Which
example.
not to um be Mr. Sunshine Pump here, but it can also work in the reverse.
Mhm.
Like I would say in my situation, we wouldn't have been able to afford this place if it wasn't for loans from the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So of course, what's mine is theirs.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I guess it just depends on your situation. But
But I mean, that is what marriage is a team effort.
exactly, and I don't want to, but I don't want to like overemphasize the negative of that.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think it's negative. You should know who you're
to get to
marrying.
know, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So your question, should you move in with them if you can?
yeah.
But again, the culture of Vietnam, it's frowned upon with a lot of families, especially old school farm families. If you say, "Hey, I want to move in with your daughter before we get married," they're gonna be like, "No, you're not. She's gonna stay at our house till you marry her." And
It, ex- and
that's kind of what it
that's a
is.
problem though.
It is because you're kind of
Uh,
it's almost like an arranged marriage feeling.
yeah, so I'm gonna turn the page, um, drastically. Okay,
Okay.
so, uh, yeah, take a drink. Um, so this is one I really want to ask you about, David, because
Okay.
I'm curious about this because I'm 40 years old, and I've heard in some of your videos you talk about uh the party scene here,
Uh-huh.
and I heard you recently say Boy Bien is one of the best, craziest like parties in all of Southeast Asia.
Uh-huh.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit? Because when I even came here, well,
Uh-huh.
keep in mind, how old are you?
19.
You don't need to say if you don't need to, if you don't want to, but I'm 40.
Okay.
And when I first came here, which is 6 years ago ish,
Okay.
so like 2019, and that's just not my stuff. Like you're a country guy.
Yeah.
I'm a country guy too. So like that is the definition of like my like small hell. Like I'd rather bang my head against like it's just like I mean, yeah, the chicks are hot,
Uh-huh.
but it's like I can't like if I want to have like hearing damage slash I don't know a disease. I just feel like there's nothing there for me. Like because I've been in a lot of countries, right?
Uh-huh.
And Boy Bien, that street is like that I would do anything to avoid that. Like you'd have to pay me a certain amount of money. Oh, but which reminds me of the next question. But you have to pay me at least like 30 million just to go there for a night.
Mm.
What do you think about this? Am I being like old dad? Am I being like hey boomer? Or what do you
No,
think?
no, no. It's the most chaotic street in all of Asia. Like we could throw Asia into it. Like forget about Southeast, just
Yeah,
Asia. The
yeah,
reason for it is
that's fair.
simply lawlessness. You could get away with anything there,
So you mean
and
like drugs, basically?
anything. I
Yeah.
mean, it's illegal, obviously, but anything goes. Like places like Thailand, there's limitations on the
Yeah.
what is that road called? Khao San Road. There's like a
Yeah.
limitation to what you could do there.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can't do there,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
In regards to like the boomer thing, I think if you're in a party, that's the spot to go. I when I first moved here, my first like because I was a teacher when I first moved here, so I was around a bunch of
So
people. Well, I mean,
isn't that like everyone?
but the crowd I was around were like 19, 20, and they're like, I've never seen a beer in my life. And so I there was weeks where I don't remember anything. Like we were just drunk and trashed and like I just lived that life.
Yeah.
And that was like my first year in Vietnam. And like my first videos, you could see like when I recorded, I slurred a lot. I had a fat face. It was because
And just like you're not like recording at the
no, no, no.
like after like the next day or something. Yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
talking about like how to buy a motorbike or something like that. And I
Yeah.
just like I'm looking at myself recently and I'm just like, what was I doing with my life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But
So
yeah.
it's definitely something to do. If you want that college, because I grew up in the time where universities, I went to University of Washington and we had those kind of parties, right? And nowadays you can't. But to come here and experience that like $1 million life that you'd see from a rap star in a video, and it only costs you $22 the entire night, it's like, gotta.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that is the draw.
Yeah.
And because it's true. Like that is so true. I'm glad it's really the finan I mean, like you said, I remember one of your videos I watched recently, like 500K,
Uh-huh.
which is like what, $30? You
That's like
could
20,
you
yeah.
I mean, you could
Back in
I mean,
2000.
let's be honest.
Uh-huh.
A million's better,
Uh-huh.
which okay, let's just say a million, right?
Yeah.
That's a that's a good night. You can extend that, and like you said,
Uh,
you can do anything. So
yeah.
I see the draw. Don't get me wrong, but like I think what I'm saying, David, is like just just like peripheral, like taking a step back, like the like this. It's so loud, like it's so literally so loud.
Let me say it like this then. If I would to do all that stuff again alone back in the past, I would have done it. I would have been like, this is stupid. It was because of the people I was with. I was with a bunch of friends. It was just like, let's
But there's nothing wrong with that
no,
either.
that I think it was
Yeah,
just I think it was a crowd thing. I was just following the crowd and
and once again,
it was fun.
enjoy. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
again, I was with like 10, 12, 15 people sometimes. There's a lot of us. So we were like think about it, there's 15 people times $20 a person. We're not spending nowhere near that. Like we would get hotel rooms with like two beds in it and be like eight of us. And we would just one of us would wake up on like the side of a dresser. Like it was just crazy stuff. But we would never spend money. It's definitely something to experience if that's what if you want to experience a lawless this party millionaire life per se. Like literally a millionaire
No,
life,
no,
right?
and I think
But I'm with you as in like I would not go back there
yeah, no, I hear
today.
you. I
I
hear you.
wouldn't, no.
No, I think that's really valuable because if you're considering moving here, you can do that. And I'm not saying once again, I feel like like the old dad or something, but I guess maybe having a kid changed me. But I've never. I'm a country guy like you,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, like I just it doesn't appeal to me. Like I like doing, you know,
Uh-huh.
drugs, whatever, partying. You know, there's a time and place for that, and I would say it's college.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you want that, absolutely come here for it. But
Yeah.
but like but like, don't plan on staying here. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
it's gonna wear off really soon.
It depends, man. I've seen a lot of people like collapse. Like their lives went downhill. Like I've met a lot of
That's my point.
people.
Like
Yeah.
like they fall into the trap of like
That's
this
kind
is
of
their
the
life now.
yeah, like in the West you have your family. You have what do you call those? Like when you bring everyone together, like detention, no retention. You bring everybody in a circle like, hey, David, you have a drinking problem,
Oh
like
oh oh,
revention.
intervention,
Yeah, like
intervention. Yeah. Oh, by the way, great show. Have you seen that show?
no, no.
Oh, intervention. It's a great show. Anyways, yeah.
But here, you're actually the intervention is, are you going to come or are you going to be a dork? Let's go, let's go. Because
Yeah.
for me, it wasn't peer pressure, but it was a group pressure, and I was part of it. I was like, come on, dude, let's go, let's go.
Which once again, like I'm not bashing
So
bashing you for any of that
no, no,
because
I'm not
let's
saying
be honest, I'd actually more bash you if you stayed home.
yeah,
To be honest,
but it's definitely something
I'm
to
on their
do.
side.
Yeah, it's something to do. And again, if you want like the best, craziest party, like Saigon is definitely the craziest party street in all of it. I've been to all of them. Malaysia doesn't really count, but like Singapore's not bad. Thailand is like third, maybe. Philippines is second. Vietnam is just like it's so ahead that the Philippines doesn't come close.
Fair,
It is just the lawlessness of it.
fair. Okay, so I want to do a little experiment here,
Uh,
David. We're gonna change gears a little bit here. So I'm gonna show a word, and
Okay.
you're gonna say it, okay? And then I'm gonna say it, and just don't try to say it in some like what you think anyone wants you to say it. Just read the word like you would
Okay.
normally say it.
Okay.
Deal?
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
Deal?
This would be some racist stuff in it.
Why would you assume that? Because yes, it is. No, I need a drink for this. It's gonna be good, guys. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Danang.
Danang.
What is it? Hold on. Banh mi?
See, I said don't say it like you normally say it.
Banh mi?
Bun me. And guys, I hope you got your scorecards out because I'm not right. You're not right. Just keep score at home. Okay. You saw that one, didn't you?
Pho?
Wow. That was pho. Yeah, I think that was pretty much same. Stop trying to fucking cheat, man. Stop looking over here.
Nervous.
Here's the one. Ready?
Yep. Don't die.
Doomsday.
Don't die.
What does it mean?
No idea. That's something bad. Thumbs eye.
Okay, but so when I teach pronunciation, I don't teach it like it's spelled.
Uh-huh.
I teach like say it like this.
Okay.
So like, what does it sound like in Vietnamese?
Doom Zoe.
Yeah, đúng rồi, đúng rồi.
Okay.
What does it sound like?
Death. Die. Over. Game over. Help me, guys.
Wow. I don't think you speak a lick of Vietnamese.
No.
Okay, so how do you say you're wrong in Vietnamese?
Uh, Cold bit? Bit? No, that's like don't know. I don't know.
Thyroid.
Thyroid. Like
Thyroid
thyroid. Like
means you're
thyroid.
wrong. You're
Okay.
wrong. How do you say you're right? You don't speak a fucking. You don't speak a lick.
Not
So
not enough.
so
I speak like
it's
market talk.
doomsday, but obviously it's not.
I speak like market
It's okay. It's okay.
Vietnamese.
Eh,
Cho tôi phở.
so you're right means doomsday. So but they say like doomsday. So that's why I said doomsday. But they would say Roy like doomroy.
Okay.
You never heard doomroy?
No.
Wow, unbelievable. Okay, next.
Disappointed.
No, it's okay. Oh, dude, don't feel bad because don't think. No, let's share with the audience about when I first met you. Let's just like full disclosure.
Uh-huh.
What's the word that you taught me that you were like, really, you don't know that?
No, man. Oh, I was outside. Like they kept yelling it.
Really?
Yeah,
Re-
he said it like 500
Okay, so what was
times.
it?
It just means like motherfuck.
But and
Motherfuck.
what do you how do you say it in Vietnamese?
No, man.
Doma,
Uh,
doma,
uh.
doma.
No, man.
Like motherfucker.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, I'm going to the fucking store and the guy fucking took my money. It's just like it's the F word for English.
Okay,
The
gotcha,
way they
gotcha.
use it, the way they were, because they were complaining about a delivery customer.
No, I believe you, but like when you said, I'm like, no idea.
Yeah, it's like the old
So
Saigon is famous for that.
don't worry, David. Now you know how I felt when, when you said, okay, now we're gonna get in some interesting ones. Okay, these that was just warm up. Okay,
Oh,
are you
jeez.
ready?
Okay. Comfortable. What happened? I said the T.
No, you're perfect.
Okay.
One more time.
Comfortable.
Nice and loud.
Comfortable.
How many syllables?
Comfortable. Three.
Guys, please listen to this guy. He may be a complete douchebag, but he knows what he's talking about. I'm just kidding, man. But no, that was brilliant. But guys, I just want to say this can be the word of the day. What do Vietnamese say? They say comfortable. Or that, which is like,
Oh no, there's an E, so it's comfortable.
or yeah, comfortable. Comfortable. Oh yeah, that's it.
I want some ricey.
Okay, so it's either comfortable or
Sounds Spanish almost.
my God. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, here's where it gets good. Ready?
Uh,
Don't think too hard now.
okay. Minnesota.
Perfect.
Finish.
Good. Did you have fun?
So confused.
Did you have fun?
Yeah. How was I supposed to say finish? Finish?
No, the reason I put this is because this is the end of the podcast, but also my wife, my wife will say finish. Like she'll put the accent, which is this can be our second word of the day, but she'll put the accent for some reason on the end. Like
Uh,
she'll say like finish. Are you finished? Finish? I'm like no, I'm not finished. So it's actually guys. So finish, or I'm finished,
I
past
got you.
tense. Yeah. So I want to make sure I don't. Okay, yeah, you're good. You're safe.
Nice.
Yeah,
Man, I
cool.
survived another day.
Yeah. So did you have fun, man?
I did, man. I enjoy it. Still liking this place here.
Yeah.
So quiet.
Yeah.
We're in Saigon. Like, seriously, you don't hear any beeping. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming on. Please follow this guy. He's really up to date with all the advice, travel tips, endless travel. Subscribe right now. If you don't, you're stupid. And if you're considering moving here, this is the guy. So that's it for me. Pro Teacher. Peace.
Hasta luego.